Welcome back to BetRacingNation here on Sports Tonight Live. A reminder that on Derby Day, you can access us through the Sports Tonight Live app. You can also access us through the website. But you can also, added to that, access us on Sky 212. That all starts on Derby Day at 10 o'clock in the morning. We might well have these pair with us on that day. I'm not quite sure whether you might be in the caravan drinking and
having the palm red.
Absolutely, having the palm red. We are going to take a look now at the Oaks, and we'd like to get your view on what your fancies are for the big race next week. I'm going to be sticking with Marvellous, and I'm going to tell you why very soon. But we'll do it in betting order. And even though this horse has drifted, like every favourite does, when bookmakers price them up, you know it's going to lengthen. And you've got the case here with Takruda, trained by John Gosden. Views on this, and again we're talking about ground dependency.
Well, I'm just thinking about Takruda in terms of what we've seen is the Newmarket performances, isn't it? Whether you can transfer a Newmarket performance on the firm ground to an Epsom performance on very testing boggy ground, if that's what the conditions are going to be. I think it's hard to have an anti-post bet at the moment.
That's the end of the conversation.
No, it's not. There's more to be said. But as an overall at the moment, an anti-post bet, and probably why it has drifted, the ground's going against it at the moment, isn't it?
I wouldn't back it now. It's as low as 7-4 in places. That is low. But I think she's quite a nice big filly, and whether she'll handle the bend, I wouldn't be sure. But she'll go on the ground, I think. I wouldn't be worried about the ground for her. It's difficult to know. When you watched at Newmarket last time in... was it the Pretty Polly?
Yeah.
She, I thought she had quite a nice action. I thought she'd be fine on soft ground. She did it really nicely.
I mean, if
it wasn't firm ground there at Newmarket, and when she won last autumn, it wasn't firm ground, was it?
No, it's far from firm on the downs. And,
no, absolutely.
And being bred by Cedar Stars, Cedar Stars never really wanted a dig in the surface.
No. And that's very important to mention, isn't it? On breeding, we'll go into this a little bit later on, similar to Australia in the Derby. The ground, I keep going back to this, and I don't want to bore people at home, but it is a major factor. So when you're making your decision, especially anti-post, it's really do it on the day or the day before. You're sure what the ground's going to be, because you've got this horse was 7-4 favourite, drifted out to 3-1. That can only be on the basis there's quite a bit of rain around.
Yeah, at the end of the day, said there's 8 days. If you're forgetting about the whole ground thing, Takruda's got the great form, it's got the superb breeding. Everyone wants to see this 3-year-old crop of Cedar Stars do well. Gosden's having a fair season with his 3-year-olds, arguably got the best crop apart from O'Brien with his 3-year-olds, and Takruda is on the drift because of the ground. But forget about that. She's got the form in the book, but not Epsom soggy ground. She's got good to firm Newmarket straight course ground.
The ground is important. It's more important. I think you've got to handle the track. If you handle the track, and you're good enough to win a classic, if the ground's on just soft, she'll be absolutely fine. If it's absolutely bottomless and boggy, yes, you might get a freak result. If it's just soft ground, there shouldn't be any excuses. Any of these fillies should be able to, if they handle the track, being with the shout. And she is out, Takruda is out.
Well, we did do a thumbs up and a thumbs down on one of those for the Grand National when we previewed it. Where do we stand on the favourite at the moment?
I'll be in the middle.
Right.
I think you can get 3-1 with Paddy Power as the best price on offer in the village. I'd be a player at that price.
Be a player? Well, one horse that I would be a player at, tremendously well backed since the 1,000 Guineas win in Ireland. Marvellous, ridden by Ryan Moore.
Yeah.
Where do we stand on that? Again, the Oaks trip should perfectly.
Yeah, well, this is... Go on, sorry, Billy.
No, go on.
You've got your doubts, Billy. Tell us why.
I have got my doubts. I don't think she's an assured stayer. I think she's a Galileo filly, but she's out of a Storm Cap mare, I think, so the stamina's not assured. But to me, when you look at her 3 runs, she's got experience around Navan, which would be useful, but she was ridden by Joseph O'Brien first time, then Shamie Heffernan, then Ryan Moore. All 3 jockeys have been hard at work a long way out on this filly. She's not been cruising into things.
But she's quickened away.
But what I think is the way that the horse has performed there suggests that the step up in trip's going to suit, doesn't it? If you have to get at work on a horse early, it's like you've been taken away from your toes. You're flat-footed when the speed's on early, and you have to stay on. So the step up in trip's a big positive, and the ground, but soft ground is a positive for Marvellous.
What do you make of the 2-week gap from the Irish 1,000 Guineas to the Oaks. You don't think that matters too much in terms of
it's too close.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
You think it's too close?
I think in this day and age, I like a fresh horse more and more because trainers can get them fit at home. They can prepare them at home. And when you've got a horse that's had a very quick run and he's coming back or she's coming back for a big race, I don't always like to see that. I'd be quite happy to take your money on Marvellous, to be honest.
Well, I might actually give you the money because I do fancy it. What about Dermot Wells? Obviously, tremendous season so far. I mean, amazingly, had more winners than Aidan O'Brien up to this point. Who hasn't? You know, I mean, I know the horses had a cough, and we could speak all night about some of the horses early on, like King's Barnes, and the way they ran at the beginning of the season. But Dermot Wells with Tarfascia. Is got another good chance here, isn't it?
I mean...
You don't think so?
Well...
By the way, just on Marvellous, I just want to put my thumbs up on Marvellous. Your thumbs up on Marvellous?
I would be thumbs up on Marvellous.
Yeah.
Have we got an odds on Marvellous?
Backed into 3-1.
Oh, no, too short. I've got something at much bigger odds than that, Peter. Tarfascia won a good race at Naas. Nothing...
But again, ground. Keep coming back to ground.
Yeah. You know, fast ground, but good race at Naas. You know, people have said, there's question marks. Just because it hasn't got Leopardstown or the Curragh next to it. It was a quality race, if you ask me, at Naas. Stamina doubts on pedigree for me compared to others in the field. And one I'd probably put a slightly worrying negative to. Dermot Wells doesn't have a lot of joy bringing them over to Epsom. Nor does Aidan O'Brien, funnily enough, in the Fillies, the Oaks race. Only one winner since 2006.
He's definitely got that right. Someone will correct him at home if he hasn't. Billy, I mean, this horse actually was believed to want good to firm ground, but then did run on I think it was drifted in the market, and it actually won on good to softish ground.
Trainers always say, should appreciate a little bit better ground or should appreciate a little bit more cut. At the end of the day, again, there won't be any excuses on the ground front for this filly. If it's, soft, she'll win.
Fingers up or down?
I just don't think she beat anything last time. It was her best race. She came back from winter break and it's a nice performance, but there's nothing in behind her, really. So it's a big ask. So I'm going to start you off with a thumbs down.
Yeah, I'm going with a thumbs down as well on this.
Yeah, well, I'm down, yeah.
Oh, you're down.
Yeah.
What about the winner of the United Emirates 1,000 Guineas and Oaks, Itamal?
Now we're talking.
No, you fancy this one?
Yeah.
Why?
Who was it that we had on talking about Shamadal?
I don't know. We have so many people
Vince
on. Vince
was on talking about Shamadal, and this one's bred by Shamadal. Will definitely stay the trip here in Tamal. It's only 10 furlong start by 10 lengths.
You sure we'll stay the distance?
No.
I don't think
so
it will.
You reading that somewhere, Tom, I think.
I think you're misreading it as well.
Well, it won its 10 furlong start by 10
lengths.
furlongs.
And then what do they
by
do?
10 lengths.
2 furlongs.
So tell me what sort of miler wins 10 furlongs.
What do they do after that? They put it back to a mile.
Yeah.
Go up to 12 furlongs.
And how did that work out now going into this? It's going to appreciate the step up.
I think you should put a red line through it to Mel.
No.
Because basically, I mean, the horse is bred for mile 2 furlongs maximum. And you expect it to last a mile and a half.
I'll give you a red pen, Tom.
Take your red pen, put it down.
You know the Epsom mile and a half as well is not a true mile and a half by any stretch.
A mile and a half is a mile and a half, Tom.
No, it's not. Not when you're travelling. Not when you're travelling downhill. Now, just because you got a majority of 2 against 1, it doesn't mean that you can simply convince me to put a thumb down, or the audience at home. But I think
she's gone through, but it's only the cameras.
I think she's bred. She's bred to stay all right, and I think bred for soft ground again. This one wants soft ground, which some of them in the field don't.
Right.
Tom Mays' pedigree is better than me, I'll give you that.
Yeah, but my thumbs are completely... I've got 2 thumbs down on this. But you like Itamal?
I do like Itamal, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's won quite a bit. Do we know anything about the French horse, Shamkala? I mean, I know it's beaten...
French...
it's beaten Shinamari.
Pivotal filly, shouldn't stay at all.
Really.
No. But
I thought it was French Oaks. This one I've got it marked up for.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So get on early.
What we're saying is we don't know too much about that one.
It won. Just to give a thing, if it does run, it won over 1 mile 3 very nicely. So has arguably shown it is probably the only winning stayer in the race. No other horse has won at that distance going into Stonefil. 1 mile 3 already won.
I think it was
a
Prix Cleopatra at France.
There we go.
Was,
you were there, weren't you?
I was not.
So he's, she's got the solid form, but I think will be French Oaks. If you can get a no run, no bet thingy or whatever it is, take it
on the plus side, she's not turned a hair. She's absolutely cruised to victory last twice.
Yeah.
On the downside, she might have to battle, and you want to see that really.
Okay, Huey Morrison,
and sister to Sariska as well.
Okay, Huey Morrison has got a filly, Marsh Daisy. Where do we stand on this one?
Ooh, it needs to be supplemented, isn't it?
Oh yeah, not on my list here. So.
Oh, okay. We won't talk about how
we won last time in testing ground, and that was Goodwood, I believe.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, same day that Observational one, who I've got a little hope for the Derby. But
I mean, to be fair with Marsh Daisy, I mean the trainer did say that they might well go for the Lancashire Oaks.
Yeah.
But they want dig in the ground. So all I'm saying is Marsh Daisy, if it's not supplemented, if the ground does ace off, that they might
just be counting their pennies.
Can we find one that is in there? Madam Chiang, is that in there?
Well, Madam Chiang's the tweet of Jamie Brownlow's tweeted into the show. He really fancies Madam Chiang because I think it's a strong Musadora, and others think it's a weak one. But I really feel it's a strong Musadora.
I would say, I mean, I like Marvellous, but as an outsider, I quite like this one. If it
she
is
looked nice before York in the paddock on the TV as I was watching. She looked a nice sort of filly, and she did it quite nicely. In running, the horse did get sort of blocked a couple of times. You look midway through the race, she tried to make a run, and then towards the end she sort of checked behind and made another run. She didn't have what you call a smooth passage. She still looked a little bit
race.
green to me. She didn't look. She'd have improvement to come. But,
no, I'm quite sweet on Madame Chiang.
Yeah, I mean, I think it won a Yarmouth race and soft ground. Again, it could be saying that maybe. Go back to the ground, but I mean the bookmakers were not impressed with the trial.
I don't see why.
I don't either. I mean, we got Takruda that was backed in after that, and then after this particular win, I think they kept it the same, 10, 16 to 1. They weren't impressed with that York run at all.
I mean, where would you rather that your horse had previously run again at Newmarket on the straight on a good to firm, or around the bend at York on testing ground leading into Epsom? I know what I'd rather have.
York form can actually be very strong.
Yeah, I mean, look at Libertarian last year. Yeah.
We can't let you go. We can't come off this race without talking about one of your fancies, and it was one of your fancies for the
1,000 guineas.
She didn't run?
No.
She's in for the Oaks, and it's got Frankie Dettori aboard. Amazing Maria.
Yeah, and the thing is it probably won't stay. Looking at the breeding, but I'm clinging on to it at a big price. Amazing Maria. Every man I've told him to have a bet on it. So I won't.
Mate, it's more likely to win a July Cup than to win.
So your first and second for the Oaks is going to be Itzamal and Amazing Maria.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But no, Amazing Maria. If you want to, have a look at it, 7 furlongs. It's won out of Goodwood, but a 7 furlong Goodwood is a mile. It is 7 furlong Goodwood is a mile. That was as a 2-year-old. You'd expect it to progress. That was in digging ground. It was so impressive. It smashed everything off their feet by 7 furlongs. Fresh horse. Eddie Dunlop will have her working at home. Amazing Maria's a big price.
It's listening to you two. I wish I was a bookie sometimes,
I mean, you've got to give some credence to the race. I mean, I'm sure Snow Fairy won there, Sky Lantern won that particular race. So the Goodwood race that you're referring to,
Goodwood's great form.
It's good form, and again, even though it's the other way round, it's sort of similar in a way to Epsom, but the other way round.
Tom's point about the track is interesting. Yeah, the straight at Newmarket compared with Goodwood, and
Goodwood has that notable sort of 300 yards at the end where you just have to cling up a bit, and Amazing Maria, made it look like it was on a...
Okay. We're going to have to wrap up and ask you for your selections on the Oaks.
Very quickly mention Tapestry, who was tipping the guineas. Aidan O'Brien said he shouldn't have run her. She wasn't right. She came last, but she always looked more of an Oaks filly, so she would have half a chance if he can get it back right.
Okay.
But my selection, Tagruda. I'll go first.
Okay.
Amazing Maria and Madame Chiang.
Okay. Well, Marvellous for me and Madame Chiang are my 2 selections. I know he's trying to convince you about Amazing Maria, but I mean, depending on, I keep saying this, and I know you will bore the pants off people at home. It is...
When have I done that?
No, I do. But it is ground, and anyone thinking of having a bet, and we're obviously previewing this race 8 days ahead, there's a lot of intermediate circumstances that will enable you to change your mind on the race come nearer the time. We are going to talk about the Derby very soon, and don't forget we are on Sky 212 on Derby Day. Now the reason for that is to provide something completely different and get an audience participation through Twitter and social media and get everyone involved. We've got people that are experts on breeding, we've got expert panellists who actually know their stuff as well. Get involved is what we say, come into to what we're trying to achieve, something different on a Saturday morning, and make the sport of horse racing that much more enjoyable. Well, we have got a discussion on the Derby next, and later on we're going to be comparing jockeys, and that might be quite controversial. See you after this.